AQST stock, AQST Therapeutics Inc. For the session of the 19th of October 2021, it closed at $4.24, a gain of 4.18%, and 384,500 shares across the tape, which was above average. And I think it is a relative. Does it have a relatively small float? Relatively small float. Going by the fact that we have this 38 million and some fraction shares outstanding, there's a good chance the float will be even less than that. So what do we have here? We have a stock that is consolidating within a longer term downtrend. This is just what is going on over the daily chart, and I mean over the 52 weeks of the stock's history. So moving on, what do we have here as well? We have that the momentum is improving. This is the 52-week chart. It's improving, and we also have a readout here that is indicating that the price crossed above the 50-day moving average. Okay, yes, it did cross above the 50-day moving average, but on this daily model, these short-term trends, the short-term moving averages, the 10 and the 20-day moving average, they are still below the just the 20-day moving averages. All of them are, both of them are still below the 50-day moving average. So obviously this is a broader looking picture. This chart is looking at a very bigger picture, so it is not exactly representing all that is going on with AQST right now. So but the 10-day chart based on 10 minutes is giving a different picture. Can we have anything? Okay, no, okay, that's the closest we can have. It is just 10 minutes. So you can see it's a different picture. Bearish, it began bearish, and then sometime around the 13th of October, not very long ago, it became bullish. And amongst other things, what actually defined the bullishness is that the short-term moving averages, the 10 and 20-day moving average, crossed the longer term moving average. That would be the 50-day and the 200-day. You can see that sometime around the 13th, yes, just as the market opened, the stock crossed the 50-day moving average based on this 10-day chart. It crossed the 50-day. They crossed the 50-day moving average, and I think also later on in that session as well, yes, about an hour, they crossed the 50-day moving average, and they have at various times they have crossed below the 50-day moving average, but not the 200-day moving average. Currently now they are far ahead. Since the 18th, they have not traded below. They have not been below that 50-day moving average. So AQST is currently maintaining a bullish trend in the very short term. You can see the momentum has just cooled off a bit. So that's amongst other things. As it is right now, it hasn't really cooled off as much, but the picture there is that yes, there's maybe it actually gained more than it gained. This 4.8% we're looking at right now may have been more than what it was that it gained. So there's a good chance it may, based on just what is going on right now, it may resume. We can see a slight increase in the post market, but I think it's in a bullish trend. These sort of trend, even though at the same time as well it has a very steep angle of attack, but the good thing about an upward trend is that it tends to feed on itself. It's the positivity is there. Keeps on feeding on itself. But as well, we have seen that at various times as well, it pulls back. The stock itself pulls back below all of those short-term moving short-term moving averages, but never really falls below the 50-day moving average. If the stock itself never really fell below those short-term moving averages, that the 10 and 20-day moving average, that would have even been super excellent. But at various times it has fallen below those short-term moving average, but it never really fell, never really came close to that the 50-day moving average, and that's quite good. It could be anything. But it's good to see that it pulls back and never really loses everything. It's a positive, and these are the things analysts and their quants are looking at, and they keep on putting money back into the stock. They keep on seeing the momentum there, pulls back, corrects, and all that stuff, and they keep on seeing that there is yet more direction. That is how the stock keeps on feeding in itself when the pattern is playing out well, playing out positively. So that's what we have with AQST in a very short time. But in the long run, maybe the underlying picture may improve, the underlying trend may become much more positive, but at the moment it's still very much bearish. So but if you look at it from the 10-day, from the short term, the 10-day picture, or indeed any other short term you want to look at, if you want to look at it in the 3-day perspective, you can even see something much more bullish than what you're looking at here. You will not even see anything bearish here. You can see that, yes, you can see very much bullish. And then okay, on the 3-day model, you can see at various times it fell below that 50-day moving average. But at the same time, when it does, when the stock itself and its short-term moving averages, when they dip, when they fall below the crossover, the crossover of the short-term moving averages over the longer-term moving averages, is usually an indication of bullishness. So it keeps on feeding on itself. When the stock dips below those moving averages, they see that as an opportunity to buy and all that stuff, and amongst other things, the probably relatively small float, all of those things. And at the same time as well, it's also optionable, a penny stock that's also optionable. So it has everything going for it, and I believe there are also fundamental issues coming out there, news and all that stuff, which we haven't really had a look at. So this video was on a special request, and so see what you make of AQST. For now, yes, it looks like a buy. Technically it looks, the momentum is there. Market participants, I think, are quite positive about the stock, but at the same time, the best opportunity to have gotten involved, is long gone, even though it does not mean that money is not going to be made or it's not going to continue to extend. So decide if it's what you're going to get involved in, and thank you very much for watching this video.